Check, check. 1, 2. It's way too loud. Okay. All right. Let's see. Mute it there. Where else is that showing up? Check it there. So it's off there. Ah, here we go. Right there. Okay. Right. Coming soon. There we go. Yeah. Hello, everyone. It looks like everything is working, sort of. I don't see any, sort of. Okay, there I am on YouTube. Okay, good. Oh, Warren,
Oh, yeah. There
how are you, sir?
you are. We good? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
It's amazing. Oh,
So far,
good.
I'm hearing.
Noises.
Oh, there we go. I was
Noises
hearing
that aren't you.
echoes because I've got it in 4 different places. I've got it over in YouTube. I've got it on my own Facebook page, Mac the Future Facebook page, and over in vertshark.com. So for some reason, vertshark.com is not letting me do comments, and
It's
it
being a
should.
birdie.
It is.
Being,
And
yeah.
it's 8:29, and I'm not going to mess with it.
Yeah. Don't blame you.
People can make
Okay.
comments in Facebook, and they can make comments on YouTube, and
They
it'll
can,
all be
they can
seen
make
here.
comments anywhere they want to make a comment.
Yep. See, here's Derek. Hello, Derek. How are you, sir?
Oh,
I
look at that.
have a new microphone, by the way.
Got his
I
picture and
know.
everything in there.
Shocker.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah. I've been looking for a SMB7 or SM7B for a while and been bidding on them over in eBay for months
I
and
hate.
finally got one.
I never will do eBay again. I've been scorned more than once,
Well,
and I'm like,
I
that's it.
have been I
I'm
have
out.
been very, very lucky. Doing well in snowy Ohio.
Yeah.
Derek, where is it snowing in snowy Ohio? Where are you at in Ohio?
Uh,
We're basically just waiting for David at this point. So Warren and
yeah.
I are just chatting.
Yeah. What were you
We
saying
are
before?
chatting.
Oh, I like the microphone Dave gave me or traded me for.
Yeah, that's the what is that? The ATR 2100? Avon. Is that near Cleveland or is that near I'm thinking maybe Columbus. Is that near Columbus? I used to know like Ohio like the back of my hand when I lived there.
I went out there a few times. I went to Cincinnati, and
Well, actually Cincinnati and Dayton are two areas that I don't know that well because that wasn't part of my territory.
where else did I go? Knoxville, that's Tennessee. Yeah,
Yeah,
Cincinnati. Cincinnati is where I went, and
20 miles east of Cleveland.
I
Oh,
had the
east of Cleveland. So you're near Ashtabula then. That's near Ashtabula. It's like between Ashtabula and Youngstown,
Ian. Ian, give me some
I
sky
think.
sky. What's the chili? Skyline. Give me some skyline chili while you're
That's
out there.
Cincinnati. He's not anywhere near there.
Well, that's what I got when I was there because that's where I was.
I know. Well, but yeah, but Skyline Chili is down there in Cincinnati.
I am sure they're chain in wherever.
Oh, west of Cleveland. Okay.
I bet
Oh, and there's
Skyline's.
Dave.
I bet Skyline is closer than you think. Hold on.
Thanks, guys.
Hey,
Nothing like transitioning from one place to another.
yeah, you guys are way too busy this week with all this stuff going on. So
Wow.
Skyline Chili, and yeah, local restaurants.
Skyline Chili that's in Cincinnati.
It was based out of there, and that's where it all
Yeah.
started. But I bet they're all over.
Well, there actually used to be one here in Northern Virginia. Guess what I have, Dave?
What do you have?
You don't have one in Northern Virginia. There's only one in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, and Florida.
We used to have one, I said, in Northern Virginia.
Okay. So
Which place?
There's a
Skyline Chili.
There's Skyline Chili. There's 4 in Cincinnati, 1 in Dayton, 1 in Columbus, 1 in Lima, and 1 in Cleveland.
Okay, well then he could have had.
Yeah.
He could have had Skyline Chili.
Well,
I swear to God, there was a Skyline Chili here in Virginia.
There's no record of that guy.
Well, there used to be. It was in Arlington? I think it was in Arlington.
It might have been a Skylone Chili.
No. They know you. Well, that's because you can't buy chili. You can only rent it.
This is true.
I like Ben's chili in the DC.
No, I don't
Ben's
know
chili. Wow, you're coming in really hot, dude.
I like Skyline.
Really?
It's good. They put it over spaghetti.
Is that better?
Yeah, that is better.
Warren
No,
sounds a little soft.
I picked up a that said the actress to the bishop. I picked up a SM7B through eBay.
Oh,
I know.
You
I
have a
feel so
disease.
ashamed.
You have a disease.
Hey, I got it for like I think it was $320, $325, which is a really good price for an SM7B.
If you say so.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Well, I've been trying for months, and I would always get outbid.
What are they like? $400, $500, $600?
No, it's like 400. So it's, I mean, it's not a great bargain. It's about maybe 15-20% off, something like that. Root beer.
Root beer.
Are you guys ready to do this tonight?
Ready.
It's been like what, almost a month?
That was 2 weeks ago.
Which reminds me,
3 weeks ago.
Next week might not work for me. I am going away on Thursday. Let me see. I'll let Dave know, but hold on. Going to Florida.
Keep killing me.
It goes from not going to Chicago to Florida.
Well, this was planned. We're going to Naples. It's my 25th wedding anniversary.
Nice.
But we are leaving
Naples. That is on the Panhandle, isn't it?
Gulf side.
Yeah, we've never been there. So, Dave, I'm leaving Thursday, so I won't be able
That's
to.
fine.
Yeah, just so you know. Yeah, we're doing Naples, and then a month after that is my 50th birthday. We're going to Vegas, so it's a party.
Okay.
Party.
Yep.
Well, we're going to get started here in just a minute. So
That sounds like a plan.
everyone, get ready
To get
tonight on the Mac to the Future livecast that has been so late that we're like 3 weeks late. I'm through 3 weeks late. There's finally a rest to all the false rumors about upcoming Apple events, but it took Siri to lay it all to rest. Apple's Spring Forward event was on Tuesday, and there's quite a bit of stuff, I say, to be announced. No big surprise, but that is going to be our focus this evening. So strap in and get ready for some Mac to the Future fun. Oh, sorry. Was just kind of boogieing out there. Hey, everyone. How are you doing this evening? I'm Guy Searle, one of your hosts for the Mac to the Future live cast go here on Facebook and YouTube. And you can even go on over to, I can't remember the name of my own stupid website. That would be vertshark.com. There's a link somewhere in YouTube or in Facebook. So you can go over and watch it there directly if you want. Though for some reason the comments aren't working, so you may as well stay wherever it is that you're at. That is just the way that I roll. And I am not alone in my torment. I have dragged along two other people, one of them being Mr. Warren Sklar. Hello there, Mr. Warren Sklar. How are you, sir?
Who are you and what am I doing?
I'm sorry if you can't figure it out. Any break with reality at this point is your problem.
I mean, I recognize maybe the face, but I don't. It's been so long, man. Hey, good to be back.
And anything? You were just telling us you were going down. You're going down to Florida pretty soon.
Going to Naples, Florida, a week from tomorrow. If there's no rioting, hurricanes, or whatever else could happen. We'll be traveling.
Huge, giant, mutagenic palmetto bugs.
That would be an improvement over what.
No, do you know what a palmetto bug is? If you know what a palmetto bug is, that would not be an improvement.
They sound delicious.
They are not. We are also joined by Mr. David Ginsburg. Hello there, sir. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for accommodating my my work schedule. I unfortunately had to do a little bit of work at the half hour here, but glad to be here. And I wanted to make sure I corrected you. So it was Apple's spring loaded event.
Yeah, isn't that what I said?
You said
what did I say?
Spring forward.
Oh, I said spring forward. Well, it was spring loaded. I'm an old man, so I'm over 60 now.
They did a spring loaded last spring. Ashley, that was your thing.
Okay. Well, gotta get rid of Dave's lower third. I am in such a professional mood tonight. Yes, I am. Yeah, I missed Chuck's big thing.
Yeah, yesterday. we had quite the extravaganza. It was
almost 2 hours, wasn't it?
2 hour after show, 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, I would join more, but that's a marathon for me. I it's interesting, but that's too much work.
I love doing that show because there's so many people there that are just so much fun to talk to. But by the time I got home from work, it was after 7:00. And by the time I ate and everything else, it was like, and I did stop in. And see what you guys were up to. But I just was not up. Yeah. I just wasn't up to do it. So, but we're going to talk about a lot of the same stuff tonight.
Same stuff
tonight. As a matter of fact, this is what people are going to be talking about for the next week or so, I'm going to guess. Probably most of your Apple-centric podcasts.
Talking about this for years, not just for a week.
Well, I mean, for this event. There's always new stuff. There's always new stuff.
20 years ago when that pig Mac came out.
Remember when that thing happened and people said, "Yay!" I was there.
That was exciting.
Something about that.
Where's my pudding? Anyway,
get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Let's see. Cletus says hello. Hello, Cletus. Hey. How are you, sir? Please. And I'd like to say, Derek, I'm sorry. It's been such a tough week. And Cletus has no idea. So there's our comments so far coming in tonight. So kind of typical there. So they had the big event, and I'm sure you guys watched it. I was part of the reason why we didn't have a show last week was because I was leaving the next morning for North Carolina, and we just got back Monday night, which meant that Thursday, Friday, and Monday there was nobody doing most of the stuff that I do at work. So when I came in last night or yesterday morning, it was like bam, lots of stuff to do. So I mean, I actually kind of looked up from the clock and it was like 1:30. 1:30. Is there something going on that I was like, oh crap, the Apple event, and trying to find a way to go back to the beginning of it to watch. was almost impossible. I had to wait until really, catch it midstream and then go back and watch it again.
Half hour, you only had to wait. The stream was there on YouTube right away when you could watch it, pretty much right after.
I was at work and our internet at the building was down for the morning, and I was able to not have to do much because I do IT work. So I'm hiding in there, and the power's out, and they said it's not coming up till 3 p.m. Eastern time, and the keynote's at 1. So I'm like, all right, this is good. I'll just hide. We had internet, and I could do a few things. 1:45, the power jumps up.
So you couldn't watch anything.
No, I made a decision, and I made the right decision.
An executive decision.
I was going to say an executive decision.
When my boss emailed me and said, "Is the power back up yet?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think."
No.
Well, this was after 2.
Yeah.
Like it was just ending, and she was emailing me. I'm like, it might have just came up, I think. So I watched it.
So just lie. They're not going to know.
Me, I decided it was time for another reaction time episode with Mr. Mike Potter, and Chuck was with me as well.
I thought doesn't Mike do those on his own?
He does
with his own podcast, or was it like a combined thing that you guys did?
Well, I simulcast it, so it's published in my feed. So because
I listened to it, and
yeah, we had some good reactions.
So I just 2 or 3 comments about the live feed. It's definitely more for the podcaster, because it's if you're a tech guy, you're listening to the feed, because that feed you couldn't not pay attention to.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's hard to do. But it is a lot of fun listening to you guys predict right before the show.
Yeah.
And like Mike said, if it's an M1, I'm not buying an iMac. And at the end of the show, like, well, it's an M1. I'm probably.
And then he got convinced later.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I'll buy one.
The good thing was I had I had the Apple event on my TV next to me here on my Apple TV, the event. Then my other computer here, I had M1 cranking, and I had TweetDeck going, and I had feeds scrolling like crazy here. So I was just information overload here, and then doing the show. So, but the good thing is on the Apple TVs you can turn closed captioning on, so I didn't have to have the volume up, and I could see what they were saying. So,
speaking of podcasts, that was the one thing for whatever reason that I didn't put into the show notes. And so, do either one of you have anything to say about the either the new podcast app or speculation on what Apple's going to do with? I guess they're going to pay podcasters.
Yeah. So first off, they being a podcaster, they did shut off iTunes Connect and converted it to Podcasts Connect, I discovered. So I said, well, where's my account? And I don't see my feed. I'm scared. So I went and went onto the site, and I just, you got to sign in. Okay. And then they said, well, you got to register. I'm like, really? Okay.
Weren't you already signed in?
I was signed into the iTunes Connect. This is the Podcasts Connect. They've moved, again, they make some more changes. So, and then it says
it's completely impossible to just take your current information and put that onto a new URL.
Not Apple.
Can't be done.
So I signed into the account, and then your information in your account will sync in a few hours. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Why would it take that long? So I waited, and then probably, a few hours later, probably 5 or 6 hours, I checked back again, and wow, there's my feed. So, but it's not 100% yet. They're still working on it. And the podcasts, it's calling Podcast Plus, I believe they called it, was going to be the, you're going to have the opportunity to be like a Patreon type of deal where you can get some reward for people listening, and do some extra content, that kind of stuff. But from what I saw, is it's actually going to be as part of the developer beta, so you have to have a developer's account in order to be able to access it at first. But eventually, they're going to start bringing it on, and then it's going to be similar to like what a Patreon does, where you can get special episodes. You could do all kinds of that stuff. But of course, Apple's going to take their 30%. So, but it's going to be interesting to see what, how it's going to be for, someone like me who my podcast is, doesn't have a huge audience, and I don't have advertising, nor do I offer any premium content. would it be of a value to me? But guys like Dave Hamilton and Mac Gab and those guys, they're, Dave, of course, with Backbeat Media, they're definitely going to be already, I'm sure they've already been exploring it and going to look at some ways to have some donations through Apple as well.
Okay. I guess that doesn't really affect you, Warren, since you don't have a podcast.
I don't even know what a podcast is. So
yeah,
he
just
was
comes
randomly pushing buttons on his keyboard tonight, and here he is.
You and Dave send me links, and I just click them, and then there you are. So then I talk.
And then the only other announcement that we don't have on here, I could be brief on, is the Apple Card. They announced the family sharing, so you now, like, if you have you and your spouse, which I had right now, but we're going to keep them separate. It's going to get you the ability to now merge the accounts into one. You would get combined credit lines, and you would have the whichever account had the lowest APR. You get that for the one account, and then you share it. As well as they added the availability of being able to have for family sharing for kids. So if you want to put allowances, they can use the credit card, but it's up to a point using Apple Pay and such, and then you can. But they have to be part of your family sharing plan in order to be able to have access to it. So,
well, my kids are in their 20s; they're not getting anywhere near my credit cards.
Right. This is going to be younger kids. Yeah, no kids that are out of the house. So, yeah,
they that
was always it.
I love my kids, but no.
They also changed the algorithm, so there was the big issue of women not getting credit cards because their credit score is tied to their husbands, who make the purchases and sign their names and stuff like that.
In my case, I think it's the other way around.
Which is crazy.
In my case, it's definitely the other way around.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. It's kind of like, you don't want nothing to do with, especially back in the day, you don't want nothing to do with my credit.
If it would have been my credit, I would have gotten like a $10 limit. I would have been able to get a cable. Or
after I got married, my wife was probably like, why did my credit score go so far down? I don't understand. Something's wrong. What has changed?
I would say in most cases, being less tied together is better. But in this case,
less is more.
In this case, I might, she's take her credit score, don't take mine. Yeah. I could only do bad things with it.
And of course, like I can't, I cannot. What's the word? I can't really blame her because she's now retired and has been for like 7 or 8 years, and I'm still working. So there's that. All right. Let's go into the hardware. Let's talk about some hardware here, guys.
Yep.
First off, AirTags are actually a real thing.
AirTag.
AirTag. Yep. $29 for one, or you can get 4 for $99. So go out and buy a buttload of them, because I guess you save money that way. And it's to track your stuff. Battery powered and will supposedly last a year. It's not rechargeable with normal use. Or there's already a bunch of like pricey leather tags, some of which I think are more expensive than the AirTags themselves. That you can fit one inside. Yeah, isn't that nuts?
Yeah, even the Apple one is $35. The Apple one.
It's like why am I bothering to get the AirTag? I'll just get the little leather case for it and make people think I have one. Oh, I don't take that. He's got that tagged. You'll get busted.
I want that on my luggage because someone will steal it.
Yeah,
you don't need the case. Just get like double-sided tape.
And if someone stole an AirTag, I mean, at $29, it's like hardly even a crime.
The tag is not the deal. It's the Hermes
attached to is with the problem.
Yeah, the Hermes luggage tag will be the one.
You'll find the little tag like tossed into the trash. But you'll never find the little leather case for it
because they know you can track them, so they're not going to keep it.
Wrapped it in aluminum foil. So the way it works is you use the Find My app to search for them. They can be triggered to play a sound. So if somebody does take your stuff, just have it like constantly beep and it'll make them nuts. Typically connecting through Bluetooth for short range. They can also connect through other people's iPhones if they have Find My enabled, and that's opt-in, without sharing any personal information. Pre-order on Friday, April 23rd. And it's supposed to be available in stores on April 30th. So Friday, you can pre-order. And the next Friday after that, you can actually go and start buying them if tags are a thing that you're interested in. Dave, why don't you take the next one there?
Wait,
Yes.
you can't talk about who's buying tags. I'm buying.
Yeah.
tags.
yeah
Well, okay. Tell me.
Let's talk about the tags.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm buying them.
We can talk about the tags.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I
buying
wanted to get a little detail of what it does, and with the precision finding they were demonstrating, which is really cool. Utilizes the U1 chip that's on the iPhone 11, iPhone 12, which is really cool. Go ahead.
Did you see the sofa ad?
Yes,
Yeah,
that was the
we all did.
best.
That was so good.
Except
Yeah.
Dave watched it without sound, but it was still pretty good.
No, I watched it back later. Don't worry. That was really cool.
I'm gonna get the tags with the 2 leather holders for
Mhm.
my dogs as their collar. Put it on their collar.
They have a cheaper leather one, right? I think it's like what, $50 or whatever it is. Or
No,
Don't they
this
have?
they have a $35 one. Belkin has a plastic one out there for $11.
yeah, the Belkin's like $12.
Yeah,
Apple's
Amazon's
selling
gonna
that.
have-
I mean, come on.
Amazon's gonna
There's
have
already
them for
knockoffs on
$5
Amazon.
each.
Yeah,
Yeah,
$5. Yeah.
It's
anyways.
it's a piece of friggin' plastic. Why is it $11? Just because it's going to have an air tag in it? You know, this, and the thing is, there's a limited amount of time that people are going to spend that kind of money for that crap.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It
You
depends
know,
on how useful
they're going to
it-
be coming out from wish.com and every other cheap Chinese website that you can think of, and they'll be 4 for $1.
Oh,
Yeah.
the holders you're talking the accessories.
Holders or not the air tag.
Oh, not the air tags. I'm talking about these holders for $35 for
Apple's
leather.
always, when they release a new product, or any product, they when it's new, they sell their own expensive stuff first, and then, their cases are $50, and it's
But-
$80, and you could get 5 cases for $1 at wish.com. So I mean, that's just the progression of things. It's the same when a new phone comes out, when a new iPad comes out. Your only option to protect a cover is either to wait for Amazon to get them or buy something expensive from Apple.
Okay, but if you're talking about a phone, okay, a phone is a $500 to $1,500 investment. So spending $70, $80, $90 on a nice leather case or whatever for it, not a big deal. But when you've got an item that costs $30 and you're going to wrap it in a $35 little leather case, I think that's ridiculous.
I'll say for the Amazon knockoffs are $5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apple Watch, not this one, but I have I got it secondhand, but I got the
Hermes.
Not the Hermes, but you could do that too. But I got the Link one, which is $400 something. So I mean, I
got one that's got a little clippy right there, and I think it cost me $25.
I'll stick with the loop. Thank you.
Yeah, I got my loop on today. Loving it. My green one.
Yeah, it's very comfortable.
But yeah, so anyways, the point is, they Apple does this. They release expensive things, and now that Hermes is involved, they'll do it with the watch, and they'll do it with this, and then every week or so you'll get new stuff.
And just quickly, just a couple things, other things I wanted to mention. The personalization is going to be free. You could put all kinds of icons, so let's spend time on that. The battery life is a year, and it is a user replaceable battery. The battery that's in there is the wafer
2032,
2032, which is very common. So it does have Siri support, which is great. Privacy, they really stress that big time. Unwanted tracking alerts, and you can't just drop it into somebody's bag and be able to track somebody. You gotta.
Yeah, there's a whole
thing with privacy. So
you think it's going to work with Siri shortcuts or automations, because that would be good.
Yeah, and then the Find My network is part of it also.
Right, but if I put it like on my whole Tesla thing with the garage, with the workaround with the smart tags, option would be to put a smart tag, one of these air tags in the car, set an automation saying that when I leave and come home, open up the garage, because I can't do that with my phone now because. No, I'm not always in the driver's seat. I'm not always driving, so that wouldn't work either.
Yeah, sometimes the car is driving.
Right. So I want something. I need something that says open up the garage when the car is near the house and close it.
Yeah, every once in a while, just look at your Find My. Why is my wife and I are home? Where'd the car go? It went to the store.
It's driving to the Tesla factory.
Yeah.
But,
All right. Anything else about AirTags?
Definitely a buy.
Yeah.
Bye.
I don't know. I'm not convinced.
25.
There wasn't
It's
a
30
whole
bucks
lot
and you don't
here.
even have to buy the case.
Yeah, or
Just
buy
get
one to play.
I usually get like really super excited when these events come on. But as they were going through all the various things, I mean, there was stuff that was like, yeah, boy, that would be really great. And it's like, wait, I just bought one of those, or I've got one
Here's a little
working
secret.
really well.
Every time somebody activates one, there's a big wall on Tim Cook's office.
Got another one.
And he's sitting there and saying, "Booyah!"
And he pulls his
every time
mask
the
off.
lights out. He's like, "We got another one." Yeah.
I am not a crook. I'm not a crook.
I know where everybody is. He's going to be like the guy, Professor X, with the big wall.
Yeah.
Never sees where
Well,
everybody
I'm
is.
not saying that Tim Cook is Richard Nixon, but have you ever seen them together? That's all I'm going to say. All right. So moving on, the purple iPhone 12
It
and
was a
iPhone
thing.
12 mini, no different from the other iPhones,
Not the Pro.
except
Not the
it's
Pro.
purple.
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't do the Pro, which I found kind of
That is
odd.
not a buy for me. Who's going to buy a phone in mid-cycle? Mid-cycle.
Kelly will
Well,
buy one.
Won't be surprised. Yeah,
cycle?
she is a
She-
purple.
She's a purple fan.
Yeah,
She's
get a
definitely Kelly Gumont. We're talking about Kelly Gumont.
case, get a case, Kelly. 'cause
She's
the
got a new
iPhone
phone. She's not buying the phone.
in 6 months will be the new one. So
You sure? You sure about that?
unless
She might.
Yeah,
well, no, they'll
we talked
definitely-
about it. I don't recall her saying she was going to.
There's definitely going to be an iPhone 13 if that's what you're asking.
Right. I'm sure it'll be purple.
Or have a purple one available.
Actually, I doubt it because the iPhone 12 I wanted in the color I got the previous year, that green color.
The green? Yeah, that was kind of
so-
nice.
That was like disappointing. I wanted them to keep that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cletus,
that's-
it's not really a surprise that the stock went down after the event because
Every
you
event, it does.
buy on rumor, sell on news. You know,
Yeah.
that's what a lot of them do.
They say investors knew most of this already.
Yeah.
Before this. So.
Minji Kuo told them all ahead of time. Pre-order Friday, April 23rd, and will be available in stores on April 30th. Okay. Apple TV 4K, 179 for the 32 gig, 199 for the 64 gig. Besides the surprise to me that it was updated, and I remember this is one where I really was very wrong. I thought they were never going to update this thing again. There's a number of features to set it apart from its earlier brothers. This is actually kind of cool. Color calibration through your iPhone. And
Yep.
you know, they demoed it in the event, and basically you just walk up to your TV set, you link your phone and the Apple TV, walk up to your TV set, hold it up there, and it just kind of scans the room and says, "Oh, okay, this is best." And there it goes. So I thought that was kind of cool. The processor jumped from the A8 to the A12, which that's a big jump. Yeah. I'm almost surprised they didn't put an M1. It's like, let's just put M series in everything. You know, why screw around? Just put it in everything. What's that? The Apple toilet, it gets an M1. They all get
The AirTags have M1s in them.
What the heck?
You hook up a
Oh,
monitor.
Siri thought stop talking to me. Siri, stop it. I must have said something to trigger her because all of a sudden it was like, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. It's like, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you, Siri.
All right, Apple TV.
Apple TV.
Pass.
So, and a brand new remote that is said to not suck. So that's a
It
plus.
sure
right
looks
there.
like it doesn't with the nice the ring around the touchpad now.
Yeah, what does that
Similar to what
remind
the
you of?
iPod was. The iPod.
Yeah,
I mean,
old iPods.
old iPod. I think the original iPod. Yeah.
Yeah.
But long overdue. I think that touchpad on the current remote was just garbage.
And
And a
one
power
thing,
button. And a power button for
yeah,
the TV
for
too.
the TV set. The one thing that they still haven't really addressed, and they expect people to just go out and do it themselves. One of the things that the Apple TV is going to be good for, as compared to its app brothers, is arcade. But the old Apple remote sucked for games, and I don't imagine that the new Apple remote will be much better for games.
Don't
So
want to use Joy. You want to use the
you'll have to
game,
go out and get
game controller.
a game controller, you know, Xbox or PlayStation 4 or 5 or what have you. You know, and it's one of the reasons why I think arcade has yet to really take off to a significant amount, that you can play a lot of these games on your Mac. You can play them on your phone. You can play them on the iPad. You can play them on the Apple TV. But it just, you know, the one thing that people want to do is play it on a big screen. So if you've got some games that just look beautiful on a big screen, but then you have a controller that just blows for trying to do something with it, well, a lot of people don't want to go out and spend another 30 to 60 or more for a wireless controller that's going to work with the Apple TV. So why not just do the smart thing and either have a controller that you can buy for it for games that's relatively inexpensive, or make the Apple TV remote so that you can use it to play these games. Cletus bought 3 of them this year.
I was just going to say real quickly, I was going to say real quickly that I don't see a lot of people going out to buy controllers for the Apple TV. I don't hear of a lot of people doing it.
Yeah, it's $59 to buy. You can buy one separate too.
Right. So I mean, you could buy a controller. I don't think kids are like hot to game on the Apple TV, and I don't think adults are either. It's not. I mean, it's good for, like, you know, people like
me.
Most people play. Most people play, you know,
the simple games
on an iPad, iPhone, and you know,
Robot Wants Kitty.
Yeah, I mean,
Oregon Trail.
You could play like that thing that was released on the arcade. That's, you know, that's more involved, but I don't. I'm sure a few people do.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think aren't the Jack games available for the Apple TV?
Yeah, they are through the App Store.
Yeah, we want that.
Okay. See, now those are the kinds of games that, and Cleta says that for the family, for the, you know, the Apple TV.
I said everybody has their own, like, iPhone as a controller.
Yeah.
You know, you could do a whole bunch of things with that. You could do, you know, voice. One thing is, like, you should be able to ring in and say a voice instead of having to, you know, hit a button. Why don't you do that? Or, you know, just like Monopoly on there. You can play Monopoly. You can roll dice. Well, I mean, all those.
Or what's the one that replaced?
There should be a Hasbro
Fortnite
app for it.
With the guys in space that try to kill each other.
Spy. Who's a spy among us? Among Us.
Among Us.
Yeah,
Among Us. That's it.
Yeah, my son Peter loves that game.
My son Jacob liked it for a minute.
I have tried to play it on the Mac, but they have yet to make the controls for iOS and iPad OS games on the Mac work for crap. There's no commonality. It's different for
remember Drug Wars?
Every single game. Go ahead.
Remember Drug Wars? That's like the game we used to play. All of us.
Drug Wars? No, I lived it. Mister.
Do you remember that game, dude?
70s and 80s.
I don't remember that game, no.
It was like, it was text-based, and it was on the iPad, on the iPhone to start. And
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail came back.
Yeah.
And
I'll find it. But
you have died of dysentery. I mean, overdose.
Basically, you buy and sell drugs, and it's like, you know, if you do this, then, you know, somebody shoots you.
There's the family type game that Apple wants to push on their platform.
I'm finding it.
Couple other items I want to just bring up real quick.
Go ahead.
I did the screenshots of their grid, so I got all the information in front of my eyes here. Wi-Fi 6, so you got that, which wasn't on the old one. Smart Home Hub is now enabled, so you have your Apple TV can be a smart home hub to manage all your things through home.
Mm-hmm.
AirPlay now is now in Dolby Vision, so you'll have some real good quality sound. And then this is interesting. It says private listening, and I have this feeling you can use your AirPods and be able to privately listen. And I believe it's going. I have to find out what that exactly is, but I'm thinking you can listen, and others could be in the room too, and you have it just for yourself. But I'm not I'm not 100%.
Or your wife is trying to sleep or whatever, and you just got it. Listen, well, it had Bluetooth support before,
right? But interesting. I have to look that up because I see that on there, and I thought maybe it could be that allows you to be able to private listen, and then others can listen as well. I don't know. Hard to say. Probably just what they already had originally.
Okay, yeah. Well, all this will come up especially once these things are released. Yep. Next one.
We did say when they were released. It's
pre-order April
30th. Right.
And available in stores at some point in May, probably after the second week in May, is what some of these other ones are saying.
Right.
The iPad Pro is new, starting at $799 for the 11-inch and $1099 for the 12.9-inch. Has been outfitted with the same M1 processor found in newly released Macs. It has a better camera, 5G connectivity, which was if you get it with the cellular option, which I have for almost every single iPad I've ever bought. Mm-hmm. Thunderbolt connectivity, so lightning goes away and they switch over to Thunderbolt. An XDR liquid retina display for the 12.9-inch model, and up to 2 terabytes of storage. And that's some serious storage.
Serious money too.
Oh yeah, for all the video conferencers in the world, which is really all of us now, there's Center Stage, which not only tracks your movement to keep you aligned in the center, but will reorient automatically if someone else comes on screen. It works with. They have a new white magic keyboard, and it'll work with the older versions as well. Apple has played kind of loose with specs with the iPad in the past, but because the iPad Pro now uses the M1, we know exactly how much RAM and number of processors that are available. Pre-order April 30th, and will be available in stores probably middle part of May.
The RAM is going to be the base space is 128 gigs, 256, 1512. Those have 8 gigs. You go up to 1 terabyte and 2 terabytes, 16 gigs.
If there was one thing that Apple released in this event that would tempt me, it would be this. And if I didn't already have a 2018 iPad that I got from, I don't even remember. I got it from somewhere. I can't quite remember.
You bought it from B&H.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I was thinking, I was like, did I get that from Warren? No, I got that from B&H. At actually for a discount. I got a really good discount on it too. But I can't even imagine, because if you go to Apple's website and you try to figure out how much these things are going to cost, you can't.
Especially
because you can't put all you can see what the base prices are for all this stuff, but you can't see what it's going to cost for all the extras. Though if the Mac Mini and MacBook Air are any gauge, you're looking at like $200 for each upgrade, which means that
went up to like 200 from 130.
Yeah. But it's 5G though. Yeah.
Well, that's what they say, because it's 5G. They can charge a premium for it.
It's actually, but I mean, if there was one thing that would tempt me to go and get one of these new products, it was this right here, the iPad Pro. I can't justify spending the $2K plus for it though, when I have a perfectly good
Dave and I are in the same
model
situation right now. So
we're in the 2018. I'm really close.
I'm close too.
The 11. I know it's got the same stuff, but you know what? The M1 processor compels me, and surprising you don't notice this too, Guy, is the studio quality mics. I'm curious to see how good quality. I mean,
yeah.
Granted, I know you're a big mic guy, and you probably would say, but
no. It's not. It's Apple says a lot about the cameras that they put into their Macs and the cameras that they put into their phones and the iPads.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they're not bad. But when you compare them to even something like if you're going to use them for video conferencing, especially with Macs, and you compare those to even something like a base model Logitech unit, usually the Logitech unit just looks better. I'm sorry, so if Apple is going to sit there and tell me that the camera that they have built into Mac A, B, or C is now, hey, it's 1080. It's like, well, yeah, so is the 920 that came out 6, 7, 8 years
2
ago.
years up from what they had been.
Yeah, it doesn't impress me. And they sit there and tell me, well, we're going to put in, not 1, not 2, but 4 microphones. And it's like, yeah, but they're like about that big, big. So
I'd be curious to hear how it sounds. But the other good thing with this iPad is the dimensions are exactly the same as the old mouse. So I have Magic Keyboard, no problem, it'll work.
Cases,
I've got 2 cases, will work, no problem. So now I don't have to spend money on cases. Excuse me.
The dilemma is for me is if I'm going to do it, I'm going from the 11 to the 12.9 because that's what I wanted at this point.
That's not my budget. That's why I'm not.
Well, I mean, that's the only reason I would do it because I can't see a justification going from the 11 to the 11, the new one.
Well,
but
here's the thing.
I have all these accessories now for the 11-inch too, so that's
right
up in the butt. So, I really got into the idea of using the iPad as a second monitor for sidecar in situations, but I still use it for other things. So having a 12.9-inch screen would be better for me at this point. I don't use my iPad that much otherwise.
I'm pretty close.
If you're going to use an iPad for anything other than email or surfing the web or things along those lines,
oh right,
you got to go with the 12.9. I have used iPads to do podcasts. I have used them to edit video. I have used them and not even my current one. I'm talking about like 2013, 2014. I was doing that back then, and it was a royal pain in the ass. And it's gotten much better over the years, but because you're switching, especially if you do a lot of video editing or you do a lot of audio editing, you get used to a certain way of working. And to go from a magic trackpad and trackball or mouse and a keyboard to doing everything on screen where you've got to start touching around to all the different things, you're talking, it's a completely different user interface, and it slows you down unless that's what you're doing all the time. And I don't. So the fact that you can get it with up to 2 terabytes of storage, and the fact that it's got an M1 processor, which is like crazy powerful for a device this size, this is getting closer and closer to what I've been talking about for a long time, where not only is the iPad your only computer, it's the thing that you plug into and then you have it on a bigger screen with a dock or what have you. I don't think we're that far away from that. I mean, they're already, the convergence with them going to the M1 for iPads, and how much longer will it be before they do the same thing with iPhones? It's one more step toward that computer in your pocket is your only computer. And I get a lot of crap for saying things like that, but this is what I think. This is where I think the whole industry is going to go, or at least where Apple's going to go. And I think Apple will be one of the, not the first to do it, because there's already some companies that have already done it. Samsung, for example. But I think Apple will be the first company to do it and do it right and to make it stick, just like they were with touch screens on phones and smartphones and tablets and everything else that it is that you're doing. So, Apple's not always the first, but they're usually the one that sets a standard that everybody else goes to. Yeah. All right, let's anything else about the iPad before we move on?
No.
All All right, the last thing we're going to talk about tonight, unless you guys have anything else, the new iMacs are here. The new iMacs are here. Not a big jolt of hyperbole, but these are probably the fastest regular strength iMacs ever made with their M1. And sorry to all the M1X fans or whatever the heck you think the next one will be called. These are still M1s. Not any different from the same processor currently found in the new Mac Mini, MacBook Air, 13-inch MacBook Pro. It's got there's a typo, 24-inch 4.5K Retina display, which I thought was weird, and more outer colors than you can shake a stick at if that's your thing. Somehow, some way, it's a little bit thinner, even though it's at about its limit to still include Thunderbolt ports and other ports on the low end. And an additional, you can get, I'm sorry, I messed that up. You get 2 Thunderbolt ports on the low end, and you get 2 additional USB-C ports on the higher end model. And of course, the wonderful, wonderful 1080p webcam that probably still won't be much better than a Logitech 920, and microphones that, while probably won't suck, won't be all that good either. There's no 27-inch or larger update for now, but these will be available in Baskin-Robbins ice cream array of different colors. From the pic, it looks like it's sort of a pastel green, yellow, peach, red, purple, blue, and silver in the front, and slightly darker tones of the same on the back. Pre-order Friday, April 30th, and hopefully will be available in stores mid-May. Mid-May is what I'm guessing. 24 inches. You know,
It's good entry level iMac. It's obviously replacing the 21.5-inch model.
Yeah.
I don't. If someone is a pro who wants an iMac like this, it's not for them. I mean, people are going to wait for the 27-inch. They really, Cletus says tempting me. So I don't see it. But I think really what Apple wanted to do is get in the entry levels out, because the Mac Mini and the MacBook Pro and the MacBook Air are out with the M1s. Now they got the iMacs. So I would venture to say we'll probably see the MacBook Pro 16-inch and the other MacBook Pros probably with a newer M1 processor, as well as they may even look at an iMac Pro. It's very possible. You don't know. But the 27-inch will definitely, I think, will have the next generation of an M1 processor. But I mean, they look great looking. They're great looking machines as far as I can see. The colors are kind of interesting. The silver is probably going to be the most common one. But just looking when they showed what the system board was looking like, and it just fits down on the lip at the bottom there. It's like incredible. I mean, the rest of it's screen. I mean, to have just that in a computer is just and then
it's a screen that somebody threw a computer at.
Yeah, and it did have the small little fans in there that were. They did say during the event it's no late.
Those pumping speakers, man, they pump.
Yeah. That too, but the fans were like they said less than 10 decibels, so you could barely hear it.
That's like 10 decibels is nothing.
It's nothing. So if that's what they're saying,
that's like an ant fart. I mean, that's eating a lot of chili.
That's right.
Eating a lot of Skyline chili.
But yeah, it's some interesting colors. I like the styling because it is kind of styled along the lines of what the iPad is now, the iPad Pro is now. So as far as the way it was looking, and I thought it was pretty cool. And yeah, interesting. The low end at $12.99, only 2 ports. But I guess you could look at that too as the low end Mac is
two Thunderbolt ports.
The Thunderbolts, right?
Yeah.
And which you can't get more of on any M1 based Mac currently.
Right. So the Mac Mini only has 2.
The only 2 buses. They got 2 buses.
Right. But you could
that's
hub,
what you're
right,
stuck.
But you could hub now, which is the thing.
Yeah, you can hub it with the WC hub like I have.
Yeah. You could hub Thunderbolt too, which I mean. You were able to, the USB-C part was kind of the easy part. So you could, that's probably why the M1 Mac has the 2 USB-C ports. It's basically just a hub to those 2 ports. I'm thinking. But it's pretty much the MacBook, the entry level MacBook Pros,
right,
board with the fans. I think it's probably the same. I think they probably just go to the entry level MacBook Pro that just came out with the M1 and put it in that thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think the big difference between them is going to be really sound output. There's probably some additional circuitry there just to deal with however much additional power is required for those four large, I say large, but large within that enclosure speakers, the two on either side.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they talked about as far as those speakers go, and I'm curious to see how they're going to sound, is that they're configured in such a way that even though they're relatively large and are supposed to pump out quite a bit of volume, and it's pushing air, it's not going to make the computer itself vibrate. It's supposed to remain pretty much rock solid. So I'm kind of curious to see how they're gonna manage that.
Cool.
Yeah.
As far as the colors go,
Well, funky.
when I heard that rumor, it really kind of confused me. I didn't really see the point of it. I think that the computer where that would have made more sense would have been the MacBook Air, to have the extra colors for the MacBook Air as compared to the iMac, because most of the time you're not even going to see where the most color is, which is the back of it. For most people's desks, it's going to be sitting up against the wall, and no one's ever going to see the color that's in the rear. So you've got the light pastel color on the bottom lip, but that's like pretty much anything, the only part that anyone's going to see.
Well, you didn't see that Apple is selling cases for these. You put them on
with little mirrors so that you can see what the back of it looks like.
No, it's just a case. Like they got the leather one and the silicone one, and it's got the hole in the back for the camera.
New computer next time. So I guess Cletus is going to wait until whatever the next ones are that come out.
I told you guys.
I've got to say, I am still, other than Bluetooth, very, very happy with my Mac Mini. I mean, every single time I fire it up and I start doing video or I'm editing the My Mac podcast,
it's the same exact machine.
So
the screen.
It's the same machine without the screen.
Yeah.
So
and I've got two 27-inch monitors connected to this thing.
Yeah, you're fine.
So
it's a
why
nice
would I buy one?
Well,
No.
you wouldn't. And if you wanted to buy a monitor that had a pink back on it, I'm sure you could.
Oh yeah, and then the other thing they did is they changed the power plug. The connector is different, and then they include the Ethernet. The Ethernet connection is in the power pack on the mid and high price model. It doesn't come in the low end model.
Oh really? I didn't know it wasn't in the low end model.
Yeah,
Nope.
That is cool.
I think that was smart.
What I kind of wish they had done was include like a couple of USB ports, or if you're going to have a big ass power brick anyway, and the thing is about yay big,
right?
Then just make it a little bit bigger, especially if you're gonna have it be a hub for Ethernet, and just throw a couple of ports on there.
I don't know why they didn't do that.
Why the hell not? And then the only thing you've got coming up to the computer itself is power.
Right.
Everything else they could have put. They basically could have. Well, I guess then it would pretty much not be that different from the Mac Mini if they did most of that. It's like, okay, well, we're going to sell you this multiple $1,000 4.5K Retina display, and oh yeah, your power brick is your computer.
Yeah.
So yeah, is it power over Ethernet? Very good, Cletus. But do you guys have any other thoughts about any of the stuff that happened?
Well, one thing we didn't mention is the Touch ID on the Magic Keyboard that comes with the iMac. We forgot to mention that.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool, and
it's wireless.
It's wireless with the Touch ID. Yeah, I was very impressed with that. But that of course is not going to get released as a standalone product. It does work with any Mac, from what I'm understanding. So, but they aren't selling it separate for now, only with the iMac.
Well, that kind of sucks because that's if there was one thing that probably could have tempted me to make a purchase, it might have been that keyboard.
Well, I would bet eventually they will. I would think. But
And
it may not
the
be-
problem
it'd be
is nobody
pricey.
else can make one. Nobody else can make that.
Right. It'd be pricey. I
For
bet
good reasons.
I could bet 140, 150 bucks for that keyboard.
Oh, at least. I mean, hell,
Right.
the Magic keyboard that they sell now is 120, 130.
Right.
God
That-
forbid you want it
more.
you want it in slate gray. That's going to cost you another 25 to 30
Yeah,
bucks.
the one, no,
for
they had the
color
black one for the
change.
iMac Pro. I mean, they
Yeah.
wanted to buy it and they wouldn't sell it separate.
I wonder how they're gonna allow people to pair the keyboard touch button with the computers.
Well, it's
So, like,
it's gonna pair up. It's gonna pair up with the whatever they call. It's not the T2 that's in the M1 Max, but whatever the security
The-
chip is.
U1 chip.
Yeah, and
Right, but
who's to say they can't? I mean, because basically you could you could put a similar chip into the keyboard because it's not like they're that big, and
Right.
you pair it up before it ever leaves the factory. Or
Right.
there's some kind of pairing procedure that you have to go through when you first fire it up. But it's, I don't think it would be that hard to do. But nobody else can make one because no one else has access to Apple's security chips in any of their computers.
Right.
You can make a Bluetooth keyboard all day long, and it could be the greatest Bluetooth keyboard that anyone has ever seen from here to Toledo, Ohio. But it won't work in the same way because you won't be able to pair that with any kind of Touch ID.
well, the whole thing for this is security. So you don't
Yeah,
want other
right.
people making this kind of stuff. And what my point is, if Apple sends you a replacement keyboard, if yours breaks, then how hard is it to pair that keyboard back up to your Mac? You would think it would be, not something easily done because otherwise people could,
Right.
try to break into this.
Well,
type of
sure,
system.
but your fingerprints are tied into as a hash in the security chip in the Mac, not necessarily in the keyboard. So if in order to pair that keyboard, you would have to also have access to that person's fingerprint, I'm guessing, or whatever they use to
Well, but
identify.
you
the
register the
stuff.
fingerprint after. You have to pair the two together, then register the fingerprint. So, basically, the whole point is the fingerprint is security.
Yeah.
And they're not going to sell. They're not going to give away the keys to this kind of design. Or product
No.
to anybody else.
All right. Well, I think unless you guys have something else, I think that's going to do it for this evening.
This is a full hour.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of surprised. Well, not really. It's been a while.
There was a lot, and there was a lot to talk about too.
There was. So we're going to start off with Mr. Dave. Dave, if people wanted to get a hold of you, my God, there must be some way to do it, sir.
There is. In Touch with iOS at intouchwithios.com. Actually, Mr. Chuck Joyner is going to be on the show tomorrow.
Nice.
You also find me
Tell
on
him he needs to cut down on the time of that Tuesday show, whatever the hell
Mac,
that called.
Speaking of that, Mac Voices Live on
Yeah.
Tuesday nights on YouTube.
Which
Yes.
is really a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, but it's been a
I'm
marathon.
messing with you,
And not only is it 2 hours, it takes him, he has to slice and dice it. Some of the shows aren't even being released until a few weeks later here because he had to get this event out. So, you find me on Fridays, usually on the Mac show on the British Tech Network. And you find me here, and you find me at the Suburban Chicago Apple Users, president of that group. And you can find me on Twitter at DaveG65. Thanks for having me, as always.
Hey, it was great to be had. All right. Warren. Deer in the headlights. How can people get a hold of you, sir?
I just follow you guys around.
I understand.
Look for Dave. Look for Guy, and you'll find me.
Wherever we go, however we go.
Hello.
And if you would like to get a hold of, where is it? Here it is. If you'd like to get a hold of me, email address is guy@mymac.com. You can find me on the Twitters. I am Mac Parrot and Vert Shark over there on the Twitters. If you'd like to contribute to my ever-growing sickness that is my microphone collection, along with
It is a disease.
it is my SM7B. Why I bought an SM7B, I don't know. I've just always wanted one.
Wow.
You can go to Patreon, patreon.com/MacParrot. You can go to Coffee, ko-fi.com/MacParrot. You can also go to PayPal and pay a pal at paypal.me/MacParrot. There is also, of course, the mighty mymac.com podcast that I've been doing with Gaz for so many years that I'm sure he has regrets upon regrets upon regrets, but he keeps coming back each week, as well as Guy's Daily Drive, which I haven't done in a while, but I need to because that's a fun show for me to do as well. And I just do it while I'm driving to work. So how crazy is that? But I think that's gonna do it for this evening, guys. Thanks for being here. We really do appreciate it. And we will see you all hopefully. Oh, make sure tomorrow night you go and see Dave and Chuck Joyner and who else? Anyone else?
That guy.
No, Warren's not going to be there.
Oh, tomorrow you're leaving?
No, tomorrow I'll be there. A week
Tomorrow.
from tomorrow, I'm in
Oh,
Florida.
okay. I thought, okay. Well, tomorrow it'll be Chuck Joyner
tomorrow.
and Warren and Dave. I'm pointing at my screen, and I don't know why because it doesn't make any sense. But they're both there. All three of those guys will be there, and it'll be a good time. So make sure you go and you catch them there. Meanwhile,
we're gonna twist it up a little bit and talk about last year's keynote.
Yeah, oh,
That's right.
that'll just totally screw with people's heads.
Yeah.
We will see you all next week, right here on the Mac to the Future livecast. Go. Bye.
I realized I had no noise gate on. That's why I was clipping in and out. So I turned it off.
Oh, okay.
So now
Cletus
I
asked
should
about,
start.
I don't know if he's still here. He was asking about final thoughts of the event, but we'd already kind of
I think we kind of recapped in the beginning.
wrapped at that point.
We liked it.
It was good. Very well produced and very concise. They really had down to an hour.
They've got it down to a science,
Yeah.
And
this might be going forward like this forever.
the thing that was the most telling for me was that there really wasn't anything that they announced that I wanted. I think that some of that may be because I have recently replaced my laptop. I've recently replaced my iPad. I've recently replaced my Mac. I'm pretty happy with my iPhone SE2. So I have this, I'm in this weird bubble of no Mac envy or no Apple envy. And that it, and when I realized that at the end of the event, it was kind of like, oh, when does that ever happen? I mean, you remember the last event, I was like, I don't care what they talk about. I'm not going to, and the next thing I know, I'm like, shut up and take my money, and I'm buying an M1 Mac Mini.
I got one too, so
It's FOMO.
But not this time. Not this time.
I'm buying the AirTags because I wanted them, and I'm debating the iPad Pro swap out.
Well, once we're able to start traveling again, I might do that. But for now, I just don't see any need to have AirTags. You know what? I want to show you guys something I saw while I was in North Carolina. Oh my God. I was so tempted. Oh, come on.
Was it a mic?
It was not a microphone.
Unrelated, does anyone want to buy a 2018 iPad Pro? Let me know. Apple will give me $450.
Yeah, I said mine too. 455.
Yep.
Unless it changes next week.
That's the tempting part, because I could literally just get the.
Just throw it on there and only cost me what, $400 or $500.
And I could even probably get away with the 128 gig model at this point. I have
Yeah.
my pictures and everything else.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. I don't want to share it.
I don't-
How do I bring up a browser
gotta share.
window?
You got a share button here in StreamYard.
Yeah, but it's video file or share screen. I don't necessarily want to share the screen.
Well, it should ask you what part of the screen when you click it.
Yeah, well, what I'll do is I'll pull this out of
Maybe not.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't prompt you. It just says share screen.
Yeah, like in
Yeah, but
Teams.
you can choose whether it's going to be
No, it doesn't seem to let you do that. Let me see.
share screen.
Oh yeah, it does. It lets you choose a window if you keep going through it.
Oh, here we go. Chrome. Well, I could just choose this right here. Check that out.
Cars, nice.
1950 Ford Coupe.
It was a 50. You saw it in person?
Yeah.
A lot of mods on it.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's not at all stock. It's got a let me get back to the main page here. It's got a what looks like a Mustang 302 engine in it.
Oh, God. Yeah, because back those days it was probably a tiny engine.
It was probably only like a flathead 6 or something like that.
Yeah. 4-valve.
She's no Tesla.
No.
But the look at this thing. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Look at that
Well,
back seat. Look at the size of that back seat.
And what do they want for it?
25,000.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And
Yeah.
the only thing that's kind of holding me back, because I could afford it, it would mean I'd have to like not buy a bunch of microphones. But
That might be tough.
it is that's a tough decision. The one thing that really kind of holds me back is I don't have a garage.
Yeah, you don't want to be sitting out in the weather.
Yeah, and I mean we have a carport, but that's where Tracy's 72 Volkswagen Beetle, what we got from this exact same place, as a matter of fact. And it's a one-car carport, so it's not even like I could put it.
Yeah.
I would have to have it covered all the time. And it's like, this is it. While it would be great to have, and it would be fun, and all the rest of that.
Yeah,
I don't want to be the person that gets a car like this and just drives it into the ground.
I mean, I have a charger. I had my new charger, and
Yeah.
I get to keep it in my garage. So
Don't have a garage. If I had a garage, I'd probably buy this thing. It is so nice.
My car drives itself. Just saying.
yeah, until it crashes into a tree.
No, it doesn't. Those
The
people
Tesla.
are
All right, guys. It's been a long day. I'm heading out.
still. Well, they're here too.
All
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me out. Dave, I'll talk to you.
Yeah, I'll talk to your mom.
right,
Thanks,
guys.
Guy. See ya.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.